Hey guys, welcome back into the OddsShopper YouTube channel. My name's Geoff Ulrich, and in this video, we'll be talking a little bit of no house advantage, specifically their versus the house contest. We're going to be talking a little bit of NBA action for Sunday, January 8th as well. So lots of stuff going on at no house advantage. Like I said, we're going to be talking about their versus the house contest. We're going to be going through some player props for this slate, and what you can do with those player props on no house advantage is you can take them, put them into your own parlay style multiplier ticket. You can take 2 props, you can take 3, 4, 5 props. You can put them on the same ticket, and then you get a certain style of payout. And obviously, the more props you put on your ticket, the bigger the payouts get. So that's what we're going to be discussing here. We're going to be looking at some top props here using the free projections from over on stokastic.com to help guide us. Trying to get some picks for you guys that'll hopefully win you some money on this NBA slate. And if you're new to no house advantage, there's a couple different ways to play there. There's the versus the house contest, which we'll be talking about here, but there's also the pick'em contest, where it's just more of a DFS style offering. You're building out lineups using the props from the site. You're assigning those props different values, and then you're going to put that lineup into a contest against a bunch of different people playing for big prizes. So that's more of the DFS style offering on no house advantage. But here, right now, in this video for OddsShopper, we're going to be talking about the versus the house contest. So smash that like button, subscribe to the OddsShopper YouTube channel if you haven't done that already. And last thing, if you're new to no house advantage, you can use promo code Stokastic for a free $100 match deposit bonus right off the top. You deposit $100, they match it with a free $100 bonus. That's promo code Stokastic. Really recommend checking that out right now. It's a great way to check out the site. It's a great way to build your bankroll. Just get that free bonus money. So promo code Stokastic will get you set up there. Let's dive into these props. Got a decent little slate like we do every Sunday here for NBA. NBA is not scared of going up against the NFL. They don't care. They'll put 8 games on the slate for us. Let's start with Atlanta Hawks. There's a couple props I actually like from this game. And the props that are from this game as well. They're projecting out strong for us. So again, we're leaning on those projections from Stokastic. And obviously on the road here with the Atlanta Hawks, taking on the Clippers, maybe a little bit of a slower paced game here. Clippers are 4th in points allowed, but we're going to start with an over here for the Atlanta Hawks. And John Collins, we're going to go over 9.5 rebounds. Like this line quite a bit. We got a close point spread here. We've got a team in the Clippers. Maybe don't want to run up and down the floor so much as some other teams that Atlanta may be matching up against. It's really not a good idea to do that with the Hawks, considering the guards they have anyways. So 9.5 rebounds for John Collins. We're going to take an over here. The Clippers also aren't the greatest rebounding team in the league, so they're only 21st in terms of rebounds allowed. So they do allow quite a few rebounds to opposing teams as well. You know, obviously a little bit of injury issues that going on there, just in terms of what they've missed, and you know, from the season. It looks like Kawhi will be in the lineup today, but we're talking John Collins here, so more just a down the paint kind of thing. The Clippers really haven't been that good in the rebounding department. You got John Collins, just in terms of a player should be seeing a lot of floor in this game. I think this is actually a pretty solid matchup for him to just see a ceiling in minutes. He's pushed average 38 minutes per game over his last 2 starts as well. And just you look at the rebounding department, did go under this in his last game, but the games before that, 12, 13 rebounds. So John Collins, I like this as kind of a ceiling spot for him. Our projections like it quite a bit as well. This is one of our strongest overs on the slate. Over 9.5 rebounds. Let's start there. Let's stick with this game, though, and let's throw in an under in terms of the Atlanta Hawks. And I mentioned, you know, like the Clippers, maybe not the greatest rebounding team, but they are a pretty stout defensive team. And I think it's a good spot to potentially fade a Hawk or two in the point department. And our projections like fading Trae Young the most. It's got a 27.5 point prop up here on no house advantage. We have this projected as a very solid under. Now, Trae Young's been pretty good of late. He's had a couple 30-point performances, so nothing against the player. His form is pretty good, but you look at what Trae Young does this year as well. His field goal attempts very up and down. You know, if you catch him on the right night, yeah, absolutely, you could get 24 shots, you could get 30 shots. But there's a lot of nights here for Trae Young where, 15 field goal attempts, that's just not going to get it done. This is almost feels like buying the top. If you're taking the over here on Trae Young at 27.5, we've certainly seen this prop total on him be much closer and be at 25.5. So a bit of a slower pace matchup here potentially as well with the Clippers. Like I said, they should have Paul George and Kawhi on the floor. Always makes for a little bit of a tougher matchup when those two are there. Trae Young projecting as a really solid under for us at 27.5 points. So we're going to take that there. Again, Clippers, solid defensively in terms of points allowed, 4th in the league. So I really don't have any qualms going under on Trae Young in this one. Could Trae Young burn us for a big game? He could. But like I said, he's gone under this total far enough in recent events and just this year that I think at 27.5, rolling with the projections here makes a lot of sense from a couple different angles. So I like this one quite a bit with Trae Young. Let's stick with these unders, but let's go to a different game. Let's talk about the Miami Heat and the Brooklyn Nets here. Again, another bit, a game that could just be on the slower pace. This one really should be in the slower pace category. 222 total here. We have a close point spread, but the Brooklyn Nets only with a 112 implied team total. We got Kyrie Irving in this game. He's been playing pretty well too, but you look at what his 3-point prop is at here. We got a 3.5 3-point prop up for Kyrie Irving, and I'm pretty interested in fading this. This is a big point prop for Kyrie. It's not that he can't get there. He's certainly gotten there multiple times over his last 10 starts. But, Kyrie is kind of in that Trae Young category where, yes, some nights he's going to show up, take 12 3-pointers, but there's plenty of nights where Kyrie comes and he only takes 4 or 5 threes, and you need him to be really efficient in those situations, extremely efficient, to go over a 3.5 prop. So no shock here. This is a strong projected under for me and just for the site as well. Again, the Heat actually aren't the greatest perimeter team, which is kind of a little bit interesting because we think of them as that slow-paced defensive team, but it's really not the worst matchup. It's just we don't have a big implied team total. Kyrie is very kind of up and down in terms of his 3-point attempts. His last 2 games, he's gone under this, but the few times before that, he did go over. So Kyrie Irving, to me, is a good fade at 3.5 tonight. The projections certainly bear that out as well. And it's just one of those things. If it was at 2.5, we might even consider the over here. But at 3.5 in a game against the Heat, yeah, this is a solid under for me. I think it's a good one to take on this slate. I think it's a good one to mix in. Again, we're talking about a player here who can kind of do anything, much like Trae Young. You can go off any night, but with how volatile those 3-point attempts are, more often than not here, we're projecting the 3.5 prop as a solid under. So we're going to make that our third one. We're going to stick with the under category as well. Never be afraid to take a bunch of unders, especially in basketball. Hey, injuries can always factor in, playing time, blowouts. Let's go under LaMelo Ball, 8.5 assists. Again, this is an interesting prop. I mean, he's got a bit of a tougher matchup here. Tyrese Halliburton, no slouch. The Indiana Pacers, yeah, it's probably going to be a bit of an up-tempo game. We got a big total for the game, but again, we're talking an assist prop for LaMelo Ball. One thing we have seen from LaMelo is, he's going to shoot the ball. I mean, he's got 10 plus 3-point attempts in basically every game he's started. So LaMelo shooting the ball a lot. Sometimes that just doesn't leave enough room for him to get to those assists. Now, the last couple games, yeah, he's gotten there quite easily, but the games prior to that, there's a lot of unders on LaMelo's slate for this. So 8.5 assists in a game where they're taking on a Pacers team that does allow a lot of points, which is good for our assist under because, if LaMelo's shooting and he's efficient, he's just not dishing out the ball as much. So bit of a tougher matchup here with Halliburton too, which I like for our under on the assists especially. But this is another projected prop, one of our stronger unders. And at 8.5 assists, LaMelo is just a little bit too inconsistent in this category, I think, to consider for an over. So 8.5, let's take the under there and make that our final prop for the versus the house today. Let's do a quick recap. We're going to go John Collins, over 9.5 rebounds like this. Close point spread should be on the floor a lot today. We're going to go Trae Young from that same game, under 27.5 points. Again, still a really good defensive team on the Clippers. I think they're going to limit the points there. Kyrie Irving, under 3.5 threes. This line is just too big. Kyrie's just a little bit too inconsistent in terms of his shot attempts there. And we're going to go LaMelo Ball, under 8.5 assists as well. Tougher matchup with Halliburton. I like the under there. All those projected as strong underplays to those final 3. So smash that like button, subscribe to the OddsShopper YouTube channel. Guys, if you have not done that already, remember you can use promo code Stochastic if you're new to Notice Advantage when you're signing up. Free $100 match deposit bonus. Most important thing, have yourselves a great Sunday of NBA action. My name is Geoff Ulrich. I'll talk to you soon.